Hi, this is King Snow for Lightspeed Saber League, the world's fastest light-based fencing, and this is Garrison I. Garrison I is completely about learning the shields in Lightspeed Saber. There are 10 shields in the Lightspeed Saber defensive system. These are the passive defensive actions as opposed to the active defensive actions, which is a separate 10 movements. So you'll start here on the shields since they're easy to learn. Note that footwork is an integral part of performing these shields correctly. So make sure you know your pivots well from Blitz 1. Now let's go ahead and take a look at all the moves in Garrison I. We're going to start in our basic stance, and we are going to have a particular transition that we're going to be doing. We follow the centripetal method of shielding, not the perimeter method of shielding, which means that you need to have the weapon follow through the center of your body or your core. Okay? So when you're starting in the upper position like so, if you do your shield like this by drawing a perimeter around yourself for the shield 1, then you're making a mistake. Okay? Make sure you are using the centripetal method. That means that the weapon is going to pass through your center. So instead, dip the weapon down low and then bring it up so that the hilt passes through your core. All right? Now, you'll also be doing a back stance as you do this. This will help make sure that you get full coverage of your rear shoulder. So as you bring up your shield 1, go into your back stance like this. Okay? Make sure that you aren't blocking your vision with your shield 1. It should have your forearm right above your forehead or so, like this. Make sure the weapon is held as vertically as you can. From here, we're going to go into shield 2, unpivot, and bring your weapon out like this. Hold it out straight. Try not to do this, it's not great for your shoulder. And again, hold it out as vertical as you possibly can. Next, we're going to pivot into a square stance and reacquire the weapon with 2 hands and flip it over. And we're going to go into a shield 3. Make sure the weapon is vertical or slightly tilted inwards towards your head like so. Make sure that all of your body is on one side of the shield. Don't let your elbow stick out or you'll lose points for that. Next, we're going to go to shield 4, depivot, bring the weapon over to the other side like so, and have the same conformation. Again, make sure that is as vertical as you can get it, or have a slight lean in towards your head. And make sure there's a little bit of room between yourself and the blade, so don't suck in too close. Otherwise, when you get hit, it's just going to push right into your face. Now we're going to go into shield 5, take the weapon and bring it up overhead like so. You're going to form a roof over your head. There should be a little bit of a gap between your head and the blade. Also make sure that it is pointing downwards. Don't angle it upwards or else that's going to be lost points. Also make sure that your hand is not over your head like so. That's not going to work very well to protect your head. So keep your hand out as far off your center line as you possibly can while still holding the conformation of the blade angled downwards. Now we're going to reacquire the weapon with both hands and flip it horizontally and take it here for our shield 6. And you're going to go into a back stance for your shield 6. Make sure that is above your head, make sure it's angled downwards. Your dominant grip is going to be with your palm hand, not your dominant hand, so keep your dominant hand loose. And normally if you're doing this right, your bicep is going to cover your mouth. Now we're going to go into shield 7, so depivot and bring the weapon down. You can put it right to the floor if you can, if you want to. Angle it outwards slightly. This will help protect your front foot from attacks on this side. Also make sure that your hand is supinated, so turn your hand over like so. Now we're going to go into a shield 8. The square stance is optional on this one. I like to do it, but you're not particularly marked for it. So move it over to this side. As you do so, turn your hand over. So you're going to pronate your hand like so. Make sure there's a slight angle on it to protect your legs on this side. Now we're going to go into a shield 9. I'm going to start from here. Take your weapon, bring it to the center, and then turn it over, okay, like this. Make sure you have a dominant grip with your palm hand, not your dominant hand. Keep your dominant hand loose for this. Then go to shield 9 on this side with a square stance. Again, make sure that all of your body is on one side of the blade. Hold this as vertically as you can. Then move it to the other side for shield 10. And that's it. Let's look at it from this side. Here we are. We're going to go into a back stance with shield 1. We're going to dip the tip down, turn the hand over, and then bring it up. Okay? Once again, make sure you're not blocking your vision. Now de-pivot and go to shield 2, like so. Now we'll go to square stance and go to shield 3. Turn it over, recar with both hands. Okay? Make sure the blade is angled slightly forward. Okay? You don't want to bring it back like this, otherwise your face is exposed to lateral attacks, so make sure the blade is up in front of your head, like this. Alright? Now we're going to de-pivot and go to shield 4. Again, same principle, don't bring the blade back here, or else all of this is going to be vulnerable. So make sure the blade is in front of you, in front of your face. Also, make sure that your hands are pulled back. Alright, remember, you do not have a handguard, this is not a sword, so you don't want to stick your hands up in front like this. Suck your hands back to protect them. Now we're going to go to shield 5, release this hand, bring it up overhead and form that roof. Okay, again, make sure that it's angled downwards slightly. Now we're going to go into the back stance and go into shield 6. Form that roof, make sure it's angled downwards. Now we're going to go to shield 7. Again, make sure your hand is supinated for this, with a slight angle on the blade. Now we're going to go to shield 8. Remember, turn your hand over as you go to shield 8. Now we're going to into square stance and turn it over into a shield 9. Now this is important as well, just like for your shields 3 and 4, you don't want to suck this back too far, otherwise you're going to get your elbow picked off here, so make sure it's up in front of you like so. And you can see that again on your shield 10 as you go to this side. If you suck it back here, all of this is going to be vulnerable, so make sure the blade is up in front of you like so. And that's it. There aren't any particular safety measures to be watching out for Garrison 1, so you're unlikely to get a 0 as long as you're doing the correct movement. The main thing is to make sure that you get that proper dipping at the start, so you follow the proper centripetal method, and get your pivots along with it to make sure you get full coverage of the body. My recommendation is to perform this in front of a mirror to make sure that you get full coverage of your body when you're doing your shields, okay? This is a bad shield. I have my head exposed, so I want to make sure it is up high enough, like this, to receive an attack. Same thing for your shields 3 and 4. This is not a good shield, as my elbow is sticking out, so I want to suck it in, like so. This is why the square stance is so good for this. Make sure that I can create a little bit of gap between myself and the blade, and make sure I'm on one side of the shield fully. And same thing for shield 4 over here. And same thing for shield 6. This is not a good shield 6. This is also not a good shield 6 because a head attack straight down is still going to kill me. So I want to make sure I form that roof like so. And that is Garrison 1. Good luck.